Happy Friday, and for those of you who haven't been to my channel before, welcome. Today I'm going to be going over some cosplay convention tips. My first tip is to make sure to always hydrate yourself throughout the convention, before, during, and after the convention. You're going to be walking around the whole day whether you're in cosplay or not, and it gets exhausting and you're going to get tired and warm, and usually when there's a bunch of people in a convention in a small space like that, or a big space, it's bound to get warm. Tip number 2 goes with number 1, and it's to always make sure to bring snacks into the convention if the convention allows it. If the convention doesn't allow food in, make sure to look up restaurants around the convention, or sometimes conventions have food inside. Just make sure to look that up before you go. The third tip I have is to always make sure to check the schedule for the convention beforehand, because you don't want to miss anything. And looking at the schedule beforehand makes it so you can try and get to as many fun activities as possible and get the most out of the convention. The fourth tip I have for you is to make sure to always get your sleep before, during, and after the convention. I know it's tempting if you have a multi-day convention to stay up and go to all the events late at night, but you have to make sure to look at the schedule ahead of time and plan what you really want to go to so you have time to rest in between so you're not overworking yourself. My fifth tip is to always make sure to bring some kind of small first aid kit to the convention, including band-aids and maybe something for blisters during the convention, as well as make sure to bring any medications you might need or anything you might think you might need. The sixth cosplay tip I have for you is to always make sure, if you are going in cosplay, to bring a cosplay repair kit. That could include safety pins, as well as hot glue and a glue gun, or a needle and thread. Anything you might think you'd need to repair any last-minute touches or accidents on your cosplay. My seventh tip is to always try and bring cash to the convention, as a lot of artists from Artist Alley only take cash. My eighth tip is to always bring a battery pack fully charged. Important to make sure it's charged beforehand, as I have gone to bring it before and it wasn't charged. You especially want to make sure everything's charged if you plan on taking a lot of pictures or doing a lot of communicating on your phone. The ninth tip I have for you is to always bring a pair of footwear for after the convention, or when you're done wearing your shoes, and an extra pair of socks. I personally wear a lot of heels with my cosplay, and I do end up wearing them most of the convention, but I know that as soon as the convention is done, I don't want to drive home in heels. The 10th tip I have for you is to never be afraid to go to conventions alone. I personally have traveled and locally gone to many conventions alone, and I have to say that I have never had a bad experience due to going alone. And if you're going to a convention, you're usually going for a specific fandom, and you're always going to meet people who are into the same things as you. The 11th tip I have for you, especially if you're going in cosplay, is to check the age for the convention, as a lot of conventions are family friendly. The 12th tip I have is to always ask consent before taking any photos with any cosplayers. Cosplay is not consent, and be respectful if the cosplayer says no. The 13th tip I have for you is to always try and take breaks throughout the day. Like I said at the beginning, try and look at the schedule beforehand, and don't try and schedule yourself back to back to back, or you're going to wear yourself out. Give yourself time to rest, eat, go to the bathroom, whatever you have to do. Take a minute to yourself. My 14th tip is also that most conventions do have a designated quiet area or quiet room for those who are neurodivergent and need a minute to themselves. And of course, the most important tip to any cosplay convention is just go and have fun. There's no expectations at a cosplay convention. You can go in cosplay, you can go out of cosplay, you can go for any fandom really. There are plenty of different activities, plenty of different fandoms. You'll meet lots of new people. And if you don't want to meet anyone, you don't have to. If you want to meet everyone, you can say hi to everyone. Most people at a convention are very friendly and willing to talk. And if you see a fandom that you're looking to get into, most people are willing to explain and welcome you with open arms. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe down below, because I post weekly cosplay videos here on YouTube and daily TikToks. See you next Friday.